Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, okay. So, do you have animal science class today as well?
No, sir.
Okay. So we will wind up by 7:50 like yesterday, huh? Okay. So what we have seen yesterday, it is like this. So you know that. I just want to say you the PowerPoint slide or the notes I will be sharing in LMS may not be having what I am explaining to you now, right? That notes lack these diagrams and the explanations, right? That is my style of teaching. You are not advanced level anymore. You are not all O-level students. You are undergraduates, right? So what I explain, I will be explaining what is in the materials as well as additional matters, right? If you are expecting the same thing in the notes, then what is the purpose of coming to attending this class? I will send the notes, you will read the notes and come and write the exam, or you can Google it, and in the Google you can get plenty of resources, right? So that is my opinion. I don't know about the others. I have been always doing that. So what I am explaining here, please take down the notes and draw the diagrams, and please have a very nice set of notes. Remember that. In addition to that, I will send you the resource materials, PowerPoint, PDF, PowerPoints, and some basic notes and all that. That is different, right? That notes may not be having what I am explaining here, right? This is in addition to that one. Please understand that. That is my way of teaching, right? So you are not anymore a kindergarten or small kids, right? You are undergraduate. You should learn to read and creative writings and learn to study. This is a kind of a preparatory sessions for your postgraduates and for your future career. So we are expected to guide you on the right direction, right? Have you got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's fine. But at the end of the session, when you come here to the faculty, I will do a summary very fast, because in the summary class you won't be able to begin the study the extension, right? You have to understand, because these are very detailed discussions. That will be very fast, like a Sulisilang revision, right? So very Suravali revision, then you won't be able to follow anything. So if you can understand it, because I usually go very slow. I never rush, right? And explain very simple and basic factors. Because in my opinion, you have to understand this also, right? You know. So first of all, whatever the subject, so we have this. Whatever the subject, you have to understand the basic skeleton of it, right? And then only you will be able to follow the subject in that, right? What are the basic skeleton, right? Then you know these are the basic structure, right? So here you have something here, and you have studied all these things in your advanced level, right? So I am not going to. So here also it is same, right? Okay. So here you have. Femur, and then of course you have a kneecap, then of course you have something here, and you have right? So this is our skeleton, you know. This is our basic structure, right? So you have to understand this, whatever it is, you have to understand this. Okay. So this is our basic skeleton. In every agriculture, economics, or agriculture, chemistry, agronomy, animal science, whatever it is, so as a student, so you have to understand the basic principles. But why do we want to study this subject? What is the relevance between subject and me? Right? Why it is important for BSc agriculture? Right? How we can apply this subject into our practical life or into the field? That is very important. Application of the subject into your day-to-day life. How I can apply these principles? How I can apply these theories into the practical life, into the day-to-day life. So these are the very basic, these are the skeleton of the subject. So if you can ask this question repeatedly for every subject, then you will get a clear picture of it, outline, that is the skeleton of it. If you have a skeleton of a subject, then you will be able to understand, and it is no more harder for you to study the subject because you know the connection between all these subjects. If you are otherwise, if you are studying like this, right? If you are studying like this, and right. Right. If it is like this, can you able to distinguish the difference between these two? Huh? If you are understanding the subject like this, bits and pieces, right? This is also total skeleton, but it is in the bit and piece. It is in your mind, right? So when you are thinking, if you are like, for instance, like this is you, right? This is you. Okay. So you have an idea of this subject, right? This is agriculture, agri extension. So another student, he is having an idea of the subject like this, right? This is agri extension. Who is having a good idea? Student A or student B?
Student A.
Yeah, certainly student A, because you have a clear picture, you have an understanding how these are being intercorrelated, right? How these are these are the subtopics of the title. Well, these are the subheadings, you know, under agriculture chemistry. You are studying different titles in one semester. You have to understand the correlation between those subjects, and you are studying the practicals. You have to understand the relationship between the theory and the practicals and the application. Then you will get a clear picture of it and basic understanding, the skeleton of the subject. If you are having a bit and pieces like these, then extension will be harder. Not only extension, any subject will be harder. Remember this in your life always, right? Organize everything in your mind because you are grown up. and no more small kids, right? You should have a very clear-cut understanding what we are studying. Why should I want to study this subject? What's the relevance between this subject and my graduation? And why should I want to study? How I can make use of these lessons in my life, day-to-day life, and to improve my knowledge, how it is contributing to my ability. All these things should be very clear. Just මේගොල්ලන් කියලා දෙනවා අපි පාඩම් කරනවා මට නම් දන්නේ අයි අපි මේක ඉගෙන ගන්නවා කියලා මේගොල්ලන් ඇයි මේක උගන්වනවා කියලාත් මට දන්නේ නිකන් මේ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයට ආවිල්ලා ඒගොල්ලන් කියලා කියන දේවල් අපි ඉගෙන ගන්න. ඒ වගේ ඉන්න එපා. ஐயோ யூனிவர்சிட்டி வந்துட்டேன் ஏதோ உங்க சொல்லி தரதை நாங்க படிப்போம் அதுக்கு என்னத்துக்கு சொல்லி தராங்கன்னு எங்களுக்கு தெரியாது என்னத்தையும் சொல்லி தரட்டு நாங்க படிப்போம். Don't ever think like this. ඒ වගේ හිතන්න එපා කවදා හරි. ඒ වගේ හිතුවත් ඕගොල්ලන්ට තමයි අමාරු. ගොඩක් අමාරු. එපා වෙනවා මේක පාඩම් කරලා. අනේ මෙච්චර පාඩම් කරන්න ඕන මෙච්චර අමාරුද? ඒ වගේ තමයි හිතන්න වෙයි. ඊට පස්සේ ඕගොල්ලන්ට අවුට් වෙනකොට ඕගොල්ලන්ට දන්නේ අපි මොනවද ඉගෙන ගත්තේ මෙච්චර කාල අවුරුදු 4 මේ ඇතුළේ ඉඳලා මොනවද ඉගෙන ගත්තේ මගාව මොනවද තියනවා කියලා දන්නේ. ரைட் இவ்வளவு காலம் நான் என்னத்தை படிச்சேன் நீ இந்த படிச்சேன்னு பாஸ் அவுட் ஆகிறேன் ஒன்றுமே தெரியாம குழப்பத்துல இருப்பீங்க. உங்களோட நாலேஜும் இம்ப்ரூவ் பண்ணாது, பாடத்திலும் ஒரு விருப்பமும் இருக்காது. ගොඩක් මහන්සි වෙලා තමයි ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕන. එපා වෙනවා. වුණාමඬ போய் சரியான கஷ்டப்பட்டு தான் படிக்கணும். Suppose if you are having a very clear understanding of outlines of these and what is the relationship between this and this and this, how this has to be organized and where this should come, and when you organize this it will appear like this. See, so you have a clear mind picture. Right, in your mind you have a very clear picture, right? So the person who came late now may be wondering why now sir has started anatomy and physiology lectures. Probably I might have come to a wrong lecture, something like that, right? So yeah, this is what I wanted to insist you always, right? So keep it in mind. In whatever the subject, not only extension, whatever the subject you study here, or maybe you are going to do masters, you will be doing a master's, you will be doing a PhD or postdoc or whatever courses, diploma or doing the MBA or MPhil, whatever the subject, wherever you go in the world, you may be studying in America, Switzerland, London, Australia, New Zealand, wherever you go, remember this always. Organize your stuff in your mind. You should have an organized way of learning. Then it will make your life more easier, right? You don't need to study hard to understand. If you can get a correlation between the subtitles, subunits, and objectives and the course outline and intended learning outcomes, what do they expect from us at the end? At the end, what do they expect? What are the skills I should possess, right? Please understand these things. Then you will be able to have a clear-cut understanding, right? So that is why repeatedly I am talking on what is extension, what is it, it's a reciprocal process, something. Repeatedly I have been talking because I just want to fix that in your mind, right? I want to nail it. Wherever you go, you should know, right? Okay. So we will proceed. I hope we can continue our subject. We don't have much of a time. Yeah. So last class, give me a minute. Clear all drawing. Okay. Now we will this is your yield, or you can say output. This is your input, right? Whatever the input, right? You know the physics. You have to keep one input, that is, this is X1, and while other input constant, right? So when you are changing one input, we are using many inputs for the production, right? To get the output, to get the how can I explain you? Yeah. So this is what this is your output, right? This is your yield, right? Bring your, and this is your Y, right? This is Y is the function of, right? What are the inputs you usually go for? I'm shining. I will call you back. I'm in the lectures. I'm shining. I will call you back. Huh? Thank you. So here we have X1, X2, X3, X4, Xn, right? Plus ET, right? No need to bother about this ET now. What could be this? Water. What could be this? Labor, right? This could be labor. What could be this? What could be this?
Fertilizers.
Okay, good. Fertilizer. Maybe urea. CO, NH2 twice. This is fertilizer. What could be this? Seed. Okay. So you say seeds. So likewise, there are land, entrepreneurship, you need money, many things, right? And Xn, likewise, X1, X2. So here you are keeping other variables constant, right? So only X1 is changing. X1 could be labor, seeds, fertilizer, water, land, pesticides, implements, whatever it is, right? So here only you are keeping one variable changing, other variable constant. That is not our concern now. We are not going to study the production, but I am explaining you because you are already you have studied this, right? In your first semester. So this is your production function, right? This is your production function, that is total physical product. This is your production function. Production, what do you mean by production function? Production function simply this is explaining the relationship between output and input, right? Production function explains the relationship between input and output. That is, output is yield. Yield means how many kilograms of brinjal you can harvest, right? How many kilograms? And you have an interaction between this and this, and you have an interaction between this and this, and you have an interaction between this and this. So output, this is output, this is output, yield, right? Yield or output, and these are input. These are all inputs. This is output, right? So here the production function means, what do you mean by the production function? Simply, it is it explains the relationship between it explains the existing relationship between input and output. That is simply your production function. So what is extension is doing when you are introducing a new technology, it is boosting the production function. Now this is TPP2, this is TPP1. So what is happening here, you take a point here and you can take a point here and you just connect that, try to connect that points, right? So we are connecting that point, taking randomly a point, right? And this is, extra particular amount of input, whatever you apply, right? Here, what is happening, for the same amount of water or for the same amount of something, same amount of fertilizer, earlier you are getting Y1 kilogram of brinjal, now you are getting Y2 kilogram of brinjal. So your production has increased for the same level of input. That means this is happening. From this point to this point, the production has increased. This is because when you introduce what? When you introduce what?
New technology.
Good. New technology. Or innovation. Innovation means doing new things, some way of doing new things, some new practice, agronomic practices, management practices, or the technique, or some way of doing things, right? Innovation, right? This is N. Innovation, right? New technology or innovation leads to gives a way to increase your yield, right? Now you have a higher yield. How this new technology or innovation has reached to the farm? Tell me how this has benefited the farmer. How this has come? From where this has come? Students, the new technology or innovation, how this has come to the field? Answer for that.
Extension activities.
Okay, good. That is due to extension activity. Who is doing the extension? Who is carrying that task? Who is doing that? Who is carrying that message to the farmers or to the field?
Extension officer.
Yeah, good. Extension officer. Good. Okay. Then how do extension officer knows that these people want this? These people are struggling. How do they know that? Again, we are coming to the same story, right? There are two things already we have seen. This is lab, this is land, right? And here things, here farmers are here, entrepreneurs, or you can say farmers. Here you have scientists, technology, technical staff, technical personnel, then technologies, laboratory, technical persons, and economists. Economists and policy makers, makers, intellectuals. All these guys are here, right? All these guys are here. Here the entrepreneurs are here. So what is happening? The farmers are struggling. They are struggling a lot because they think that the money is not sufficient for them. Whatever they earn, the money is not sufficient for them, the dollar, right? So they are conveying that message. They say this money is not sufficient. They want to earn more money. They are struggling to run their family. If we are not supporting the farmer, then farmer will quit the farm. He will give up farming and he will be going for as a labor for then godak katti api දැක්කා garments වලට යනවා ගොඩනැගිලි හදන laborers wage labor and පිට රට යනවා රට පිටරට යනවා then එතකොට අනිත් වැඩවලට යනවා මේක ගොවි මේ කරන්නේ නැතුව right எங்களுக்கு தெரியும் விவசாயத்துல உழைக்கலாம போய் கஷ்டம் வந்தோடனே கனவேர் வந்து விவசாயத்தை விட்டுட்டு வீடு கட்டுற கட்டட தொழிலாளிகளாக வெளிநாடுகளுக்கு அப்படி கன விஷயங்களுக்கு போயிடும் அப்ப எங்களுக்கு என்ன நடக்கும் suppose if we continue like this we will be starved to death food security will become a problem to us right so what is the solution to this is of course we have to find a solution so this message the difficulty what they are facing has to be conveyed to these people oh these people are struggling and then we will discuss and find out a new stuff new innovation or technology right so from here to here what are the things flowing what are the things flowing from here maybe challenges constraints their needs and needs and requirements right their risk and uncertainties so all these things will be transferred from this side to this side and then from this side to this side they propose solutions technology innovations right so this is the basic stuff so then these things are flowing from this direction and so this is to and fro lab to land and land to lab and lab to land right this is a reciprocal process reciprocal means it is flowing from this direction to this direction and this direction to this direction that is why they say extension is a reciprocal process so someone has to be there to do this task someone has to be there to do this task to carry the message from this direction to carry the message from this direction right so who is going to do that so here you can see someone has to carry that do that right someone will be taking that message from this side to this side right and he's taking a message a back of message he's taking and then of course again he's bringing back that he's bringing a solution to that right he's bringing a solution so he is traveling to and fro this direction and from this direction right who is this is extension officer right? He's taking message to this and so extension officer facilitating. He is not the technical person. Don't think that he should be a scientist or he is just a normal person. He is not technical hand, but he is doing a postman work, errand boy, right? He is carrying message. He is facilitating between two people. But he should be very scientific, because whenever he comes here, he should explain that to the economists, scientists, technology people and all that as the way they can understand. Because these people are having the knowledge of books, right? They have a lot of knowledge of, they have these science and all that, they may be having it, right? Their knowledge. They are knowledgeable people. But the practical things, they may not know. But these people are, of course, the practical people, right? They are practical people, right? They only do the cultivation. They only do the cultivation, right? Here they do the cultivation. So, so here they have their own set of problem, right? So they only grow in this. So here they have knowledge. So this guy, extension guy, should be capable of interpreting the problem, the field or land problem correctly, exactly to the technical people. And then technical people will find a solution to that. And that solution will be taken by the extension officer to the land. And that should be interpreted as the way the farmer has to understand, right? He has to be very polite. And he should use a very colloquial language to understand. I have told you on the other day, right? තේරෙන විදියට කියන්න ඕන. නිකන් ඕගලන්ගේ ගිහිල්ලා terminologies පාවිච්චි කරලා කිව්වොත් ඒගොල්ලන්ට කිසිම දෙයක් තේරෙන්නේ. හරි? අනේ ඕගලන් මේක CONH2 twice එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න ලියුසන් ඕඩර්ස් ඕවර්නැලිස් වලට ඕගලන් බෙහෙත් අර මේක තියෙනවා ඒක ගන්න කියලා ඒ වගේ කිව්වොත් ඒගොල්ලන්ට තේරුන්නේ නැහැ. හරි අර සුදු සතුන් එක මැස්සෝ වගේ එකක් තියෙනවා ඒකට මේක ගන්න ඕන මේ තෙල් එක ගන්න ඕන මේකට මේ ඒගොල්ලෝ කෙමිකල්ස් වලට ඒගොල්ලෝ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කියන්නේ තෙල් රයිට් ඒක තෙල් නෙමෙයි අතට තෙල් කියන්නේ ඔයිල් ඒක තෙල් නෙමෙයි ඇත්තට මේක කෙමිකල් ඒ වගේ විදිය තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ කතා කරන්නේ කොමඩ් කියලා එදා මම කිව්වා කොමඩ් කියලා කතා කරනවා බත්තක්ක කියලා ඒගොල්ලෝ තීරණ විදියට කතා කරන්න ඕන හරි இப்ப நீங்க போய் லோக்கலா ஃபீல்டுல கதைக்கல வந்து லீவ்ஸனோட சோபனாலிஸ் இந்த கெமிக்கல் அடிங்கோ அது இதுன்னு சொன்னா அவங்களுக்கு கொண்டு விளங்க போறே இல்லை அவங்களுக்கு விளங்கக்கூடிய விதத்துல நீங்க போய் விளங்கப்படுத்த வேணும் வெரி அவையில ஒரு வெள்ளை பூச்சி ஒன்று நிக்குது அதுக்கு நீங்க இந்த எண்ணெய் அடிச்சிங்க எண்ணெய்ன்னு தான் சொல்லுவாங்க அதுவுமே மருந்து கெமிக்கல் அதை நீங்க விளங்கி கொள்ள வேணும் அப்ப அதுங்களுக்கு ஏற்ற விதத்துல இதை வேண்டி அடியும் கொண்டு நீங்க சொல்ல வேணும் ரைட் சோ அந்த எக்ஸ்டென்ஷன் ஆபீசர் ஆஃப் கோர்ஸ் should have an ability to understand the farming society, understand the sociology of the people, understanding the psychology of the farmer and all that, right? Hope now you can understand. So now we will be studying in the theory. I won't be explaining much about that, right? That will be notes. What are the characteristics of extension officer? It's a question. And I will give the notes to you. You can read and understand. I don't need to explain one by one. This is the character. This is the character. That is, you know that the extension officer should possess some character, basic character. Because why? Because he is going to handle the humble farmer as well as he is going to deal with the very sophisticated science and technology people, right? They are intellectuals. So he is going to handle both people. So he should have some specific characteristics. And before going to the land, he should have a understanding of the land. So what are this is a society, right? Entrepreneurs are in the society. Entrepreneurs are in the society, right? Okay. So society, right? Or community. Right? These guys are entrepreneurs are living in the society or community. So you have every community is a different one. They are not the same, right? Then you have to understand the community. What is their need and sociology, right? It is that is where the sociology is coming. So you have to have a very clear understanding on what is happening in the ground, right? So this is land, this is lab, and he is here. So you will be studying the characteristics of extension officer. You will be studying the sociology of the society. What are the characteristics you have to look into, and you will be studying about the about the characteristics of laboratories and how they have to cater the needs of the farmers, and how do you can't, without concerning farmers, you can't develop a technology, right? You first of all, the needs and wants should arise from the ground level, grassroots level, right? From here only the needs arises. They find the solutions. So Elon Musk, of course, can find, he can introduce new innovations to the world. But for as far as agriculture is concerned, 99% of the new innovations and technology are for the present crisis, are for the struggles to the existing struggles, right? So you have to understand that as well. Then this will be happening, right? So the theory is, of course, explaining the characteristics and socio-economic nature of the society and all that. I'm not going to teach that because we don't have time to do that. Only limited amount of contact hours we are having. I will explain you the basics, right? Then I will send you the notes that anyone can read and understand. If you know the skeleton, as I have told you, if you know the background of it, and if you know why do we want to study the characteristics of extension officer, because you know that why, because he is the person playing a key role in taking messages. He's facilitating the extension work, right? Okay. So back to the story. Now you know that new innovations and technology, because of that, the production has increased. And what is production function and everything, now I have explained you. Hope you all have a very clear-cut understanding, right? This is, of course, a micro-level story, right? Micro-level discussion, right? Micro-level. Are you all clear with this? Any questions? Students, any questions, please? Are you all clear so far?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Good. So now we will come to the other one. So you say yield is increasing. Why yield is increasing? That is because of that is due to why?
New technology and innovation.
Okay, good. Innovation, result of innovation or technology. You say new technology or the superior technology or whatever, right? Some technology, it gives the yield increase. So what is the implication that in the demand function you have studied this side? This is this side you have a price, right? This side you have a quantity, that is demand and supply function. Demand and supply function explains the relationship between price and quantity, right? So now you have a supply for a brinjal, right? brinjal or rice or tomato or whatever it is. You take whatever you like, right? No need to bother about that. So here you have a supply. So you know that this is supply and this is demand, right? This is equilibrium price. So when you introduce a new technology, what will going to happen? The supply will increase, yield is increasing. You know that in the production function we have seen the yield has increased. So now the supply curve will be shifting, right? Your supply curve will be shifting now. Okay. And I can, yeah, it is shifting. Why it has shifted? That is because innovation or introduction of new technology resulted a shift in the supply, right? It is shifted. So this is, you say this is S0, this is S1, this is D0. But the demand will remain same. Since the tomato brinjal has increased supply, we won't be eating more brinjal. Morning breakfast brinjal, lunch brinjal, rata brinjal. It is not possible for us to eat brinjal 3 times or more, right? We will be eating, so demand will remain same almost, particularly for agriculture commodities. So this supply, this is also a micro stuff, right? This is a micro view. This is about, micro means this is about one farm. When you express this in summation of one farmer, second farmer, right? 1, 2, 3, N, right? So these are the farmers. They are now happy, right? They are producing more, and the summation of it, of course, what will happen? You say aggregate supply will be increasing, right? This is micro level. This we are discussing about one farmer. Likewise, all the farmers are producing using the new technology, and ultimately the total supply is aggregate supply has increased, right? So that what will happen, that the implication of that only I explained you yesterday. Sorry. Yeah, it will be like this. So you have you have a production possibility frontier, something like this. Why we are drawing this is smaller and this is bigger? Because we are more agriculture, right? So that is why we are not industrial country. We are more agriculture. So you can say industrial. This is industrial or non-agricultural, right? Industrial. This is agriculture. So we are producing less amount of industrial goods, right? We are producing this much of industrial good and more amount of agriculture goods as far as Sri Lanka is concerned, right? So what will happen? This will get shifted like this. there will be a shift like this. Okay. And sorry. And we will be having a shift like that, right? So what is happening here? It is shifting, right? What is this? What is this known as? PPF1, and this is PPF2. So this is production possibility frontier 1, production possibility frontier 2. Why this production possibility frontier 2, 1 and 2, the difference, why this difference has happened? That is because when you are introducing a new technology or innovation, that is making a difference. That is increasing the yield of an individual. And then if you consider all the farmers in Sri Lanka, for instance, farmers in Gaul, farmers in Matara, farmers in Hambantota, farmers in Jaffna, then the total people, or mostly all the farmers, are using that new technology and innovation. Now they are able to produce more. So that is why this will get shifted, right? The technology or the innovation you introduce, the technology or innovation introduced in agriculture. We are talking about all the time, we are talking about agriculture. So it is agriculture related technology, agriculture related innovation, right? So you know that this is agri. So you have agriculture technology, you have agriculture related innovation that introduced in agriculture. So that is favoring the agriculture sector in Sri Lanka. That is favoring the agriculture sector. So that is what it is. It has shifted more, favoring more amount of agriculture, but less amount. It has a trickle down effect, right? Even though it is said to be benefiting the agriculture, but indirectly it is increasing the industrial product also. But that is not much. This is much. So now you are able to get more agriculture output and this much of industrial output after this innovation or new technology. This is, of course, a macro level effect. Macro level effect. So you know now how this micro level effort, extension effort, is leading to a macro level effect. So when production possibility frontier is shifted, what does it mean? Your GDP is increasing. Your GDP is increasing, right? It will increase. GDP of Sri Lanka will increase. Gross domestic product will increase. So through that you can earn. When GDP increases, the country will prosper, right? So how extension is contributing to GDP increase, now you know how it is doing that, right? A micro level impact, aggregate effect of that is leading to a macro level outcome. That is finally it is leading to a GDP increase. Are you all clear, students, with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we know that how extension is benefiting all these things and how it is good, and certainly it is having a positive effect on the country's economy. So now how through the extension, how Sri Lankan economy will get benefited. If I ask you a question like this, now you all are very clearly able to explain what is happening. You can write this answer with taking paddy as an example. You can take paddy because paddy is the one we produce much and it is our staple and also very popular. Maybe one of the vegetables or coconut or whatever the agriculture product. Take an example, right? Coconut or tea, that is our export, right? Or maybe fish. For whatever you want, you take a product and explain how the innovations or the new technology, introducing a new technology through extension, technology favoring to agriculture sector or technology favoring to the fisheries, favoring to new technology in paddy, new technology in coconut or new innovation in tea or whatever it is, how it is favoring the micro level impact and how it is having the macro level impact, right? Certainly, it do have a positive impact. And always we have two sides of the coin, right? Rupialak tiyanwa lang, eka petta rupialak, right? So this is anit petta tiyanwa, make it anit petta tiyanwa. This is this. What is that? We have our Sri Lankan logo, right? Government logo is there. Right? So we have 1 rupee in, so two sides of the coin. So we have always positives and negatives. Right? So this introducing new technology and innovation through the extension work has a positive and negative. So our question is whether extension is successful in achieving this GDP. How far extension is successful in achieving a GDP hike or GDP increase? That is a debatable question, right? So I will discuss that in the next class. Okay. So for a day, with that I am concluding the sessions since you are having animal science and it is so this is enough, this much enough. I don't need to, I never had a very long sessions, right? I prefer always have a break up smaller sessions, which would be more effective, right? Okay. Have a nice day, students, and I hope you all have been taking down the notes and keeping a very fine, clearly organized notes with you. Good luck. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.